I feel fine. I'm just a little sore.
Can you walk us through that play and kind of what you remember happening?
I went up to grab the rebound, and I think one of the players just hit me in my eyebrow and it just started bleeding. So, yeah.
Stitches mid-game.
How do you think that speaks on the physicality of tonight's matchup?
I think we knew going into it was going to be real physical, so we kind of prepped for that, and then that's just how it played out. It was a real tough team, so we had to play really physical. So.
When you know a matchup is going to be physical like that, how do you go into the week? How do you kind of game plan for something like that?
We just get after it in practice and, try to be more physical with each other. So, we're prepared to set the tone when we tip the ball off. So.
For both of you, I wonder how I think from the outside looking in, people would look at Samaya and say, well, they lost so many players from last season, she's going to have to score 40. It's not the case, obviously. How do you guys see that balance working out where she does score when she needs to, but also looks for you guys, and we know what kind of playmaker she is? I mean, have you seen that kind of progress as this team has come together?
Yeah, she, like you said, she's a great playmaker. Like, she finds us when we're open. I think we've had a lot of players step up, and especially this game, like Cope had a great game, Laya had a great game, and just like continuing to keep playing together, we're just seeing people find their roles. So yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of new players come in the off season, and we're just still building that chemistry. And Samaya, she's a great point guard, so she's gonna find us and get us somewhere at her spots.
She fouled out tonight, obviously, and sat a lot. How important is that to kind of figure out how to play when she's not out there? That's got to be beneficial to get that practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's really important because we have a lot of new players to to have those minutes without her on the floor. So, like you said, it's good practice because she wasn't out there a lot tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same.
Yep. Those moments are big for us, like to just find other leaders to step up in those positions when she's not out there. So.
Yeah, a lot of that falls on Laya, obviously handling the ball, and I wonder if you guys could talk about. I don't know if you saw both times, but the one she had, and she did the screen from the floor, and I mean that's real growth and progress from her. How important were her minutes and just that fire that she showed tonight?
Yeah, she had a great game. She, like I said, she stepped up and she brought a lot of energy with her shots. I thought she handled the pressure well, and yeah.
Do you see that a lot?
She doesn't. I feel like she doesn't really do it at practice.
Yeah,
a lot. She's more reserved.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was the first time I saw it, so I was like, "Yeah, Laya, let's go." But yeah.
Through 2 games so far, how have you guys been able to really adjust to all newer rotation and newer, roster from last season? And obviously, there's a lot of question marks in the beginning of the season. Now you guys have 2 games under your belt. What have you seen from your squad so far, and what are you looking to improve on as you get ready for your next game?
First and foremost, I've seen a lot of resilience. It's just hard to get a team together when you have 8 new players. So we're still gelling, we're still meshing, and everyone has to learn Brandon's defense that's new to the team and offense and how he wants to run things. I think over 2 games, on the film, I think we're getting a lot better defensively and offensively. So we're just trending in the right direction of where we want to go.
Nadira, for you, long road injury, had to sit there, as you know, last year. Sit.
Yeah.
How exciting is it to be back, and how do you feel?
I mean, I just thank God. It's been a long journey. My second Achilles tear. Try not to get emotional. It was hard. Rehab and stuff. But being out there is amazing. It's really a blessing to be able to play still, and be out here with amazing teammates like Britt and them. So.
Has it changed your approach to the game? I'm 46 and I try not to run ever, so it would for me. But have you had to kind of relearn how to play or how you play anyway?
I still feel like I am still coming back into my body. From rehab, I still wouldn't say I'm at 100%, but I have torn my other Achilles before, so I do know how it goes, and it just takes time. It's such a long injury, the recovery process, and just trusting the rehab and trusting the work that I've put in over the years. So, yeah, it's just hard work.
What's been there for you that's been consistent from pre-injury to now that you can still oh, that's me. I remember that person. Are there aspects of your game that are still there like that?
I just say everything in general. Just every day I feel like I'm getting closer to how I was pre-injury. So it's just getting back into rhythm.
when you guys have a game like tonight where there's a lot of whistles, there's a lot of stoppages, how does that affect the flow of play, and how does that affect your game plan as a team?
I mean, it's being called both ways, so like both sides are dealing with it. But I felt like we were able to try to get past that and work together and handle the pressure. And yeah, it was on both sides. So
Yeah.
Copeland was big early. You guys mentioned how she stepped up. Expected? I mean, especially early like that. Did you expect to see that from her at any point, any game, anytime?
Yeah, she's an outstanding player, so, that's what we expect of her, and she was just great tonight. So.
yeah, she brings a lot of toughness and energy to our team. So she stepped up tonight.
Good. All right, thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
guys.
Well, in terms of field goal percentage and points allowed, we're pleased with where we're at. I think the big difference tonight is, our best defensive quarter was the fourth quarter, where that wasn't the case against Lindenwood. So for the most part, I thought, our guys followed the plan and did a good job of protecting the paint. We rebounded well. The only negative is we fouled too much.
Brandon, you had a team tonight that had to learn 20 minutes of playing without Samaya. Is that positive at all, other than, not getting into the calls and why she was sitting, but just for your team to learn how to do that?
Sure. If you think about it, Wybette Mayberry is really our second point guard. And Laya is, since Wybette's been out, Laya's been getting more reps there. But I couldn't be prouder of Laya. I think she reminded me of a quarterback that maybe threw a couple of picks in the first half, got sacked 2 or 3 times, was having a rough night, but she just kept fighting. She had terrific mental fortitude, and I thought played her best basketball, when we needed her to.
Do you think that's where the emotion on the ground after some of those and ones came from, just her feeling what you just described?
I think so. I mean, she's a competitive, fiery person anyways. She's just off the court very mild-mannered, but I think, once she's in a competitive environment, that's her mentality. And, it was a physical game. It was a hard game, especially for anybody handling the ball. So, I liked what I saw in terms of her responding when things didn't go away her early, because it's easy to kind of melt and shrink, and but we would have been in trouble had she done that.
How do you think your team handled the press tonight, full court press that they threw on you guys?
Obviously not very well. I think there's some early season things, where we didn't get lined up right. We didn't execute. Those are all things we can improve on. It's the times where we allowed them to speed us up and take a bad shot, or not just hit the open man when we had 2 on us that is probably the most disappointing. But still played well in some other areas, and a lot of room for growth.
You mentioned that it was a very physical game tonight, and what are you going to take from a game like this in terms of preventing turnovers, cleaning things up? What are you going to take from this going after the rest of the season?
We'll execute better. We'll continue to work on it more. It's a hard thing to simulate because we don't play that way. But I thought once we handled the pressure, obviously we lived at the rim, which is the objective. I think once we were able to break it initially.
What do you see out of the sort of line there of Samaya looking to score but also looking to create? I mean, anytime you're trying to figure it out with a new team, that probably takes some time, but it looked like she did that when she was out there tonight.
No, I thought she did. I think, when she gets a ball around the rim, our philosophy is you don't pass it unless you're double teamed, because I think she's just such a hard matchup there. And tonight, when she did draw multiple people, I thought she found the open man. She's exceptionally good at getting to the free throw line, and she was good at it last year, and she'll be in more and more situations to get to the line.
You had the girls she played with last year. You had a handful of them that could take over in their own way, almost any night, right? So, how important is it for her to kind of figure out when she needs to take over versus when it's more critical to get the other team?
Well, I think she's got the basketball IQ to understand. Like Copeland obviously was good. Harshaw was good. There's going to be nights where Elle Evans is going to be good. And she's going to be able, to discern that. She knows the things to run, to get certain people the ball in certain situations. But tonight really wasn't any opportunity to run offense because of their style of defense. It's basically get it across half court, and they're going to climb into you. And if you can handle the ball, you're going to be able to get to the front of the rim. And that's pretty much, what it was when we didn't turn it over before that situation could occur.
When Elle's not making those outside shots, what contributions are you looking for her?
Play defense, rebound, try to get to the free throw line. Again, we weren't able to help her as much tonight just because of the nature of the game, the chaotic. We weren't going to be able to get into plays where we could get her in the post and things like that. It wasn't necessary to do it when you can go get to the rim.
You might have heard Nadira talking about being back from injury. I don't know if you were in here yet, but can you just take us through a little of her journey, what you've seen of it? Because obviously she's back out there and competing, but it's been a heck of a run for her.
I just have a lot of respect for Nadira to have, 2 Achilles surgeries, both Achilles, and then to rehab as well as she did. I think she's in the best shape of her life from a basketball standpoint. Physically, I think she looks great. And then tonight to get stitches, I haven't asked yet, how many stitches she got, but she's on the table getting stitches. I went in to check on her, and she said, "I'm good. I'll be ready." I think the kind of player that we'd all want the rest of our group, even my own kids, to model.
Did you know that was her when you first met her, recruited her, all that?
Well, I think if you come back, from an Achilles injury, and then you decide that, hey, I've had another one, no, I'm not quitting, I'm coming back, that tells you a lot about a person.
You guys have 4 players finishing double figures. Obviously, coming into many matchups, opposing coaching staffs will be looking at Samaya as maybe the top threat. But how important will it be for you guys, especially down the road as you get ready for conference play, for other players to contribute that'll maybe take the pressure off of Samaya and cause some nightmares for other teams?
I think you can look, over the last 3 years, add this year to it. It's not going to matter who's playing for our team at Kansas. We're going to have multiple players in double figures because that's how we play. We play the right way. We share the ball. And there's going to be opportunities for anybody, regardless of position, to have success on the offensive end if you play here.
Do you have a timetable on Wyvet's return?
Soon. I really believe it'll be soon. If not Omaha, could be Omaha. If not Omaha, then I would think pretty good chance for Sunday's game.
During a game like today where there's a lot of stoppages on both ends, a lot of disruption, what does that do to the flow of the offense, and how does that kind of throw a wrench into any possible game plans?
Well, it just makes it hard because now against a team like this, you just got to work on getting the thing in bounds again. So credit Sam Houston for, how hard they play and how disruptive they were.
Good.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.